Hello! Thank you for taking the time to sit down and watch this video about ProPresenter. I'm hoping that this deeper understanding that you're about to achieve will lead to ease of use, understanding, and overall success, not only for you and I, but for Miranda, because more people with knowledge and fixes under their fingers lead to easier run-throughs. So please join me as I try and give you a brief, understandable, and pain-free overview of why data organization is the most important and fundamental part of utilizing ProPresenter to its fullest. Okay, so we have a very bad problem here at One Church about downloading items into our downloads folder here and then not following them to the trash can. So what we do whenever we need something in ProPresenter is let's go to a sermon, say last week's sermon. And whenever we come here and we need another photo, we've decided to add a photo. We have downloaded it into our downloads folder. We take it and we drag it directly inside of ProPresenter and get rid of it. We are ready to go. We have done the work. We have succeeded. And that is unfortunately false. Unfortunately, if you've been on the tech deck the past couple of weeks, you may have noticed this, but it was our thumbnails. Our thumbnails have been disappearing slowly. They started to look like this here, this little gray and black checkerboard. And so then whenever we get down to, let's see, we've got a great example down here. Whenever we get down to here, let's say our next steps area, and we've got a new volunteer or maybe someone who wasn't here for the rehearsal run through, someone that just showed up for second service, we've just finished the first song. I don't prompt them at this point. I don't want to say it should be common sense, but after the first song, our next area is next steps. They can't see this. I understand the hesitation because you don't know that this says, welcome to onechurch.tv. They can't tell that. They don't know that this says Connect 1C. Even though that they can read this down here, it's still a lot better to know, and Mana Cafe. Boom, there it is. Everyone's confident. Everyone is ready to execute. So our thumbnails have been disappearing and looking like this, which is a problem, as I just explained. So all of my song graphics, though, that are the exact same thing, I need thumbnails for them, all of my song graphics are okay. And the reason for this is that I have stored my song graphics inside of our media library that is managed by, that is managed by ProPresenter in the data, in the hard drive of this computer. So let me explain a little bit about these areas so that hopefully you will understand a little bit better where and why and how ProPresenter likes to reference its data. Okay, so if we are looking for a given show or a given Sunday, we need to look up here into our library that contains playlists. And these playlists, again, reference individual shows or days. Right underneath, we have our expanded playlist, and these are built up of individual items that we bring in or create, whether that be a slide, like a slideshow, an individual song, or a sermon that we have built. You can navigate through what is happening on a Sunday morning by clicking over here on the left. If you click here, it's going to take you to the top of that presentation, which leads us, yes, to our individual presentation. Over here, this is where we see what is happening on the Sunday. If you've run ProPresenter, you've sat here and you've pressed spacebar as you've gone through here. And that is because you are working your way through our presentation that is inside of our playlist. Now, this is what we call content, or a background, or whatever you would like to call a video, also works, but this is stored inside of ProPresenter, managed by ProPresenter. even though I downloaded this item from the internet and we have permission to use this, even though it wound up in my downloads folder here, I have it stored down here. So again, I get that that's different. So now this is what's up. I can still throw words up there. I'm just saying that whatever is up here is also somewhere down here in one of these hierarchies of organization. So this is how we keep our thumbnails updated. This is how we don't lose out on our welcome slide here. We need to start being better about not only deleting our files after we import them into ProPresenter, but we need to import them into ProPresenter and then be responsible with how we organize them, or we aren't going to be able to find them. And let me show you case in point that we will not be able to find them. So this is a folder called Assets that ProPresenter likes to keep deep inside of the computer. Got to go a little bit slower, but okay, so you see that. A lot of these are backgrounds. A lot of these are games from Inside Out. A lot of these are videos that we have imported. Let's see, I just saw it. Yep. A lot of these are videos that we have imported for just 1 week of sermon, and we never need them again. But because we have not responsibly organized our data, we can't delete it out of the library. We can delete it out of our downloads folder, but it wasn't stored in the downloads folder to begin with. It was stored in our ProPresenter Assets folder. So how do we go about fixing this problem? How do we go about helping everybody manage their data more effectively? All we need to do is organize things into a hierarchy system. So over here inside of your media library, if you don't see any graphics like up here, if you don't see any of these up here down here, or if you don't see any of our backgrounds down here, you need to come up here to this media tab. It says media. Click that to open the media library or collapse the media library. In this case, we need it open. And then look down over here. This is our breakdown of our playlists inside of our media library. So if you're looking for a background, open up backgrounds. It's laid out pretty commonsensical. If you need content, then open up content. Let me walk you through what we have here. In general C1 graphics, we have pre-service, Easter, baptism, next step, and Operation Refit. Then we have our one-off events that's normally closed, but dedication, graduation, and potluck. If you need content for a sermon, we are going to import it into sermon graphics and content, series. To create a new series, what we're going to do is we are going to press this plus right here, and then create new playlist, and then we will name it. You will import your content for just that sermon series into just that sermon series playlist. If we have imported the content, which let me do that now. So let's say I want this One Church logo to be in the Living With Yourself series. If I've imported this content, like I just did, and I deleted it, but I no longer want it inside of this series, I'm going to come to it in the library, hit delete, and now we have this pop-up. This probably explains everything that I've been talking about in so many fewer words. But are you sure you want to delete the selected media cues? What is a cue? It is what I've just asked to delete, or a thumbnail that I've been calling it. But this cue, this thumbnail, this media is about to be deleted. Delete cues, which is this button here, will remove from ProPresenter only, aka it's gonna hide it so you can't see it. Move to trash, this button here, will delete cues from all ProPresenter playlists and delete the file from the hard drive. That is our answer. That ProPresenter has, once again, the assets folder here, and we have only been hiding it from ProPresenter when we don't need it. We have only been slightly deleting it from ProPresenter when we don't need it. We have not been moving it to the trash. So, not only is this going to help us find things by putting them into a more organized hierarchy, it will allow us to look back into the past. And I'm going to move this to the trash. I'm sorry that I moved on. It will allow us to look back to the past and see graphics that we had, baptism videos that we had, whatever it may be that worked, that were good. And then we can also look back and see lulls and then maybe notice some trends. If we ever need to reference content from another week, hopefully you now know that we can reference different weeks up here, different content here. And then, of course, we also need to make sure that for expendable videos, so outside of our sermon series, if it is a one-off video just for one sermon, we need to put it inside of this videos category, this videos playlist here, inside of the sermon graphics and content. If we put it inside of there, then we will know to delete it. But if it's a bump, then it probably belongs inside of the sermon series, just like this one here. So, finally, we also have an area for I/O, inside out. And the last thing that I think I should stress is naming. If we name things what they are and we know what to search for, we will be okay. We could put all Easter from 2007 all the way up to 2025 inside of here, but as long as we name the video wall graphics video wall, we can look at 17 versus what would be probably 150. 17 is a much easier number to look at. So what we name things, where we import things, and then deleting things. That is really the theme of this video, is that we just need to be more responsible with how we're taking care of things so that we help our volunteers, we help each other, and really, we don't waste money. We don't waste money on the hard drive by just having awful videos from what could be 2007 stored up in, another 15 years, whatever it may be. So thank you once again for taking the time. If I've confused you, if you are still maybe wanting another run through of this, I would love to sit down with you and have you press the buttons. Once you make mistakes, that's how you learn. I would be happy to be here and help guide you through it all. So once again, thank you. Have a fantastic evening.